Welcome to Model Steam Engines and Boilers, a collection of interesting and useful information when building model steam engines and boilers. This is part 9, assembling an old Stuart 500 boiler. If you follow my videos, you may realise that this 500 boiler was the one that had a very large dent in the side, which I removed by first annealing the dented area and then pressurising the boiler, and magically the dent disappeared, as you can see here. Normally the 500 range of Stuart boilers have all the fittings cast in, including the fire hole door. But on this boiler, someone seems to have taken the time to cut a hole in the back part of the boiler and fitted a proper working fire hole door. For what reason, I don't know, but it looks quite good. I need to fit a water gauge to this, and I'm going to fit a new one. Here's one which is 1/4 by 32 threads per inch, and you can see the price of these things. This water gauge is the non-blowdown valve type, and it will be fine for this application because the boiler doesn't have a facility to accept a check valve to pump water into it. Most of the 500 range of boilers have 4 bushes in the back head, but this one only has 3. Today the time in the workshop seemed to be going really quickly. I looked at the clock and it was 2:10. Then I remembered that the clocks went back the other day, so I thought it would be a good idea to put the time right, which gives me an extra hour in the workshop. There's a bit of a small problem with this boiler because I overpressured it to get the dent out. The internal pressure also pushed the back head out, so now these bushes are out of line with each other. If you find that you have boiler bushes that are out of line, it's an easy fix. I just threaded a piece of steel bar 1/4 by 32 threads per inch and screwed this piece of steel bar into each of the bushes in turn to allow me to align them with a bit of hand pressure. With the help of a very thin shim washer and some Loctite 542, the lower water gauge is now in place. Fitting the upper part of the water gauge was identical to fitting the lower part, a shim washer, some Loctite 542, and then tighten it into place. The gauge glass that came with this water gauge was 5 mm in diameter, and when I fitted it, it looked a bit big and clumsy, so I selected a thinner piece of glass, and here by simply scoring it with a needle file, it makes it very easy to just snap the part off that I want. Watch. It's probably a good idea to use a cloth, but I didn't because you wouldn't have been able to see what I was doing. To successfully fit this piece of smaller diameter glass tube, I used some smaller diameter O-rings. The procedure is very simple. Push the glass through the top fitting, fit the O-ring and then the nut. Don't tighten it up. Push the glass a bit further down, then fit the bottom nut followed by the O-ring, which fits into the bottom part of the water gauge. Then all you have to do is tighten up both of the nuts to compress the O-ring against the glass, but do not over-tighten them. When you have a steam boiler, in steam, 2 things happen. As it gets hot, the metal expands, and once it's internally pressurised, it may expand even further. Then when it cools, everything contracts, and the glass will not allow for this, and that's why you must not over-tighten the water gauge nuts. Here you see the finished fitting of the water gauge, and everything's in line. There are 2 bushes on top of the boiler. One of them goes straight into the boiler, and that's where you fit the safety valve. The other one is the output from the superheater tube. You can verify this by using a scriber, and you'll see which one has the tube fitted down inside. I'm going to fit a Stuart safety valve. I don't personally like them, but this is a Stuart boiler. It's a very old one, so I'm going to treat it to a proper Stuart safety valve. I've dismantled the safety valve to show you what's inside. There's the bottom bit that screws into the boiler, and the stainless steel ball is fitted in the bottom part, and it covers the hole, and it's held in place by a phosphor bronze spring. Then the top part screws into position to hold the spring in place. Later versions of this type of safety valve have a grub screw to stop the top part from working loose. I'm using a silicone O-ring on the safety valve to make it easy to unscrew for refilling the boiler. Normally I would use a copper washer and tighten the safety valve into the bush, but that's no good if you need to remove it frequently. And as you can see from this clip, it's very easy to remove it using finger pressure only. Remembering, of course, that when it's in steam, this part will be very hot, so you would have to use a cloth to insulate your hands from the heat. In my box of fittings I found this quite neat small square fitting, and I found a special siphon which fits to it perfectly. All I need to do now is fit the pressure gauge. I was going to fit this pressure gauge, but as I'm giving this boiler to a very good friend of mine, I thought I would treat it to a brand new one. My friend Dennis is a really nice chap. He's 83 years old, and when he was younger he built a three-wheeler car. I don't mean a Reliant Robin. It's like the Morgan with a V-twin motorcycle engine in the front. Dennis frequently brings me bits and pieces, and we get on very well, so I thought I would reciprocate and supply him with a steam plant. I'm also giving him one of the S50s to go with this boiler. In this clip I'm testing the boiler by pumping some compressed air into it, and the noise you can hear is the sound made by the safety valve because it's blowing off. The rattling noise you can hear is nothing to do with the boiler, it's some parts in my tumbler polisher. Now it's time to fit the steam tap. I found this steam tap, which is unusual as it's a 180-degree type. It looks better on this boiler because a 90-degree type sticks up too far. The only problem I have is I do not have a union cone to fit this size of nut. But I have plenty of union cones that are adapters. This is a 1/4 to 3/16 type. First I use my micrometer to get the size, then I select the same size drill and just drill the hole a bit bigger. And now the union cone fits quite well in the hole with a bit of clearance. I don't have a suitable burner for this boiler. The one I'm about to show you is far too big. This is for a 504. And once again, the rattling you can hear in the background are the parts from the Stuart 1010V which are put into the tumbler polisher. My friend Dennis is going to buy a burner, the jet pipe and the gas tank adapter from Forest Classics. These, by the way, are BIX type burners, BIX. This small 500 series boiler is fully assembled and ready to steam. That's it from me. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.